Hi there, everybody. Let me get this all adjusted here. There we go. Hello, hello. Let me turn on my iPad here. Make sure that I'm on. All right. And these little guys up actually behind me. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Minnie says hello. You can hear her. All right, how is everybody doing tonight? I see it okay on my end. Do you see it on your end?
Not yet.
Okay. Double check before we proceed.
Oh, I see you.
Okay, good.
Oh, am I frozen? Do I need to get off of the internet?
Oh yeah, if you don't mind not having it hooked up to Wi-Fi for now.
Mike, are you on Wi-Fi?
No.
Okay.
Hello, hello.
I have a hotspot going.
Okay, perfect. I have just my phone and my iPad, but it looks like it's clear. Welcome. All right, awesome. We got some people jumping on now. Hello. Share where you are watching from in the comments if you'd like. We get to know each other. And we will get started here with our cute little cupcake. I have him right here. I love the little melted snowman. We're going to be making that out of Isomalt, and I'll show you how to use it with the cupcake. I'm also going to show you how to turn it into a lollipop if you wanted to. Be super cute for lots of different ways, and also ways that you can kind of use this technique for other designs as well. So we're going to have lots of fun ideas in this one. Welcome, welcome. Let me know if everything's sounding and looking okay, guys. I'm still getting used to this vertical format that Facebook wants every live to be in now, so just let me know. All right, fantastic. Let's see, make sure I have everything here. Get started in just a minute. I went on a couple minutes early just to get the camera situation all worked out. All right. So yeah, we're going to be using Isomalt for this topper, which means you could customize the flavor, you can customize the color, and it just makes a really cute little addition to the tops of cupcakes. And for lollipops, you can have them onto cakes. There's just lots of different ways you can do it, but I love this very Florida snowman being here in Florida. Now, it is cold here today, I will say. But our cold is only, I think it was about 60 here today. So definitely not cold compared to some other places, but it was cold for us. As you can see, wearing a sweater. All right.
I still have on flip-flops.
Mom does. She always has her flip-flops on. Kathleen says hello from Canada. Quebec, hello. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm sure much colder.
Yeah. All right, welcome, welcome. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Right where you are watching from in the comments if you would like to. Awesome. We got a whole bunch of people on here now. Thanks for the hearts. Hi, Sandra. She said it was 60 degrees in Boston, too. No way. That's crazy.
No, really?
That's really funny.
Holy moly.
All right, fantastic. So, hey Donald. All right, so we're gonna get started here. So for anybody who is just jumping on, this is our cupcake that we're gonna be making tonight. I'm also gonna show you how to turn it into a lollipop and how to change up the design into lots of different kind of applications for different designs, so not just snowmen. But I'm gonna show you how to get this kind of melted snowman look with Isomalt, and then we'll be using a little bit of just some fondant for the details of it too. think it's super duper cute. I just love how this came out. I think it's the perfect size for a cake topper too. It's not too big or too thick. And the little head on the snowman is actually hollow too. So you could fill it with sprinkles if you wanted to or something fun like that. And we're also, for that part as well, we are going to be using our eyeball mold, our Sugar Geek Show Simi Cakes eyeball mold. So that is going to be another way that you can use your eyeball molds now that Halloween's over. You're always looking to repurpose designs and molds, so that will be a really good way to use that eyeball mold again. All right.
And make sure to share, please.
Yes, please share this broadcast with all of your sugar friends, on your pages, on your groups. I would very much appreciate it as we get started. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump right in. So today we are using Simi Isomalt as always. So Simi Isomalt is pre-cooked and ready to use, so all you have to do is melt it in the microwave. No temperatures, no recipes, you just melt it in the microwave for 30 seconds and then 15-second intervals until it is a liquid. So it's already been tempered and cooked. We make our Isomalt to be crystal clear. As you can see, there's no air mixed in, so it's gonna give you a really nice base for your Isomalt that's gonna be really, really clear, not yellowed or anything like that. So all you have to do at this point, because it has gone from the powder, how Isomalt starts out, and it has been tempered similar to chocolate to get it in all the right recipes and temperatures and everything to work for you. So you don't have to worry about any of that when you're using Simi Isomalt. All you have to do is melt it down. So 30 seconds and then 15-second intervals in the microwave. Now for this project, we do have an accessory kit. We do, with all my Playdates, we do a discounted accessory kit that takes 20% off when it's bundled together. That one came with the white Isomalt. You can also use Isomalt that you already have. If you want to color your own, you can do that from clear as well. So if you wanted to get the clear and turn it into white, if you don't have white already pre-colored, you can use a little bit of either a white powdered color, so that would be a petal dust mixed in. So you can mix that in, or you can also use the Simi Base White is an opaque water-based color that works really, really well. That's what I use, and so that is going to give you a solid finish. So where the clear or the tinted colors, a lot of them are going to be transparent when it starts out, then that will turn it into the opaque with the color splash or the powdered color as well, okay? If you want to do that. If you want to do a fun color, you can also do that. You know, you might want a blue or a pink or purple snowman. It's all up to you, but I'm going to stick with the traditional white and then add all of our details onto it afterwards as well, with the little carrot nose and the coal and everything. Hey Carla, how are you doing? Yeah, and Mom Michelle is here too.
Hi everybody.
And Dad is out entertaining Minnie right now, but she will be in the comments for any questions that you guys have. Make sure that you ask them. She will shout them out to me, and I have my iPad set up here too, so I can catch any questions you guys have. Please feel free to ask as many as you have. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera down so that we can start working. Minnie says hello again.
And Minnie will not be answering the questions.
No.
She is just trouble.
So we're just going to tilt down. Give me a second. Like I said, I'm still getting used to this vertical camera angle that Facebook wants me to do. So let's see if I can not show all of my messiness behind the camera here. Actually, I might tilt this down just slightly so you guys can see a little bit closer. So give me just a second, please. Ooh. Close your eyes if you get motion sick. Alright, I'm just waiting for my iPad to catch up so that I can see if this is a good position. Whoa. Alright, here we go. Alright, so I'm going to tilt this down just slightly. Alright, so I think that's going to work for us. Utilize the vertical space more than the horizontal space at this point. Go a little closer here.
Hold on, we're still catching up.
Okay, let me know how that looks for you guys.
This is where I'm at.
Okay, I think that's where I'm at too on mine. Let me see if I need to rotate anything. Make sure it's straight. It always bugs me if it's not perfectly straight, but I know that's not as big of a deal. All right.
Where are you going to be working?
I'll try and stay right here in the middle. Okay, I think that's good. Let me let it catch up, make sure everything is in the shot. And I think we'll be good. Yeah, that looks okay. All right, what do you guys think? Does that look all right? I'll just make sure I don't work on the outside edges of the mat. I'll work right in the center. Okay, perfect. So I have started melting my Isomalt in the microwave, but I'm just going to go ahead and pop it back in the microwave for 30 seconds or so to get it re-liquefied. I'm gonna go ahead and move this somewhere. I'm not gonna bump it. Something like that. Okay, so the first thing that we want to do is we want to melt down the isomalt, like I said. Now, if you want to add that color, you'll do it after you melt it, so just use a silicone spatula to stir in the color that you need. If you want to add a flavoring, you can also do that. So the flavoring would be either an oil-based or a powdered-based flavoring works. I just don't like alcohol-based extracts because they evaporate really quickly, but oil-based and powder-based work really good. Remember with powder-based color that it will come out more opaque. Just grabbing my isomalt here. It will come out more opaque, so something like this, it's not going to matter because the color is already opaque, but if it is a clear color you're trying to keep clear, you want to use an oil. Also, the color of the flavoring will affect the color too, so if you're trying to keep it clear, just be mindful of if you're using like raspberry or something that's a very dark colored flavoring, it will tint it. So just be mindful of that as you kind of pick what kind of color you're using. But I just melted that down to a liquid. I usually bring my isomalt to a boil in the microwave. You don't necessarily have to do that with opaque colors because you're not worried about boiling the air out. When you boil the air out of clear colors, in case you get any little air pockets as it melts down, that's really important to get any air bubbles out. But with opaque colors, you're not going to see it, so really not too big of a deal. So we are going to go ahead and start with pouring into our molds. Okay, now if you guys have seen me demo the eyeballs before, you'll know that we do them solid and we layer our edible papers and things into them. But we're actually, for this, we're going to make it hollow because I didn't just want kind of a solid piece on this when it's really not necessary for the project. I wanted to keep it lightweight, use a little bit more or a little bit less product because that's always a good thing to have less cost to pass on to your client. Plus just weight-wise, I didn't want it too heavy. So we're going to go ahead and fill this up, but then we're going to drain it back out to create a shell. So I'm going to fill this in all the way to the top first. So if it did come to a boil, I just let the bubbles settle a little bit so it stops boiling before I actually pour. All right, so I just filled this all the way to the top, and now I'm going to go ahead and drain it out immediately back into the bowl. Back into the bowl. Minnie's asking why nobody's playing with her. Okay, and then I just kind of scrape the excess off there. I'm going to fill that one more time just to make it a little bit thicker. Okay.
Becky says hi, Minnie. Tisha says hi.
So cute.
Carla says cute. Evelyn says everything looks great.
Thank you. Alright, so I'm just filling and draining that one more time, and this time I'm really going to make sure that I let all of that excess drain back into the bowl. I can use all of that isomalt again for the next step that we're going to do, but I want to make sure that all that excess is drained out so I don't have thicker and thinner spots. So I'm just kind of practicing my patience skills and just draining it out.
So cool to use the eye mold. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, it's just the perfect kind of circle, and because the eye molds are almost perfectly round, but they do have the flat spot in the back, so because we wanted it to be melting, it works out perfectly, because then you can kind of have that flat space on the back, and it looks more natural that way. Because if the head is too perfectly round, it doesn't look like it's melting, right? It just looks like it's sitting in a puddle, so I wanted the head to kind of look like it was melting down too. Okay. So I just kind of scraped the excess on the lip of the bowl there. And I am, as this cools, going to take a little silicone tool, or you can also use a toothpick, and I'm going to pull away some of this excess. You could torch it after this is cool and you take it out of the mold. You could torch it and then trim it away, but right now it kind of gets to this in-between point, and you may have to even wait an extra minute, depending on how hot your ice melt was, that you can actually just pull it away. And it doesn't need to be perfect because we are going to be melting that bottom edge, but it definitely helps to make sure that, that edge is just a little bit cleaner for you. Okay?
I'm sorry, Sid.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention. Did you pour it once or twice?
I poured it twice.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, and it just helps a little bit with the thickness of it, just to make sure that it's stronger. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and set my little fan to this so that it cools just a little bit faster. So I'm gonna just kind of set this down into it to help it to cool down. And we're gonna let that cool. Now, if that was solid, it would probably take around maybe 20 minutes just because it is really thick inside that mold and there's a lot of silicone kind of insulating it. Now, when it's hollow though, it's only gonna probably take about 5 minutes, especially with the fan on it, so it's not gonna be too long. I do want to unmold that before we attach it into the puddle. Now, just because I really do want it to be a little bit extra melty, so I want that isomalt to kind of melt down into the puddle rather than pouring the puddle first and then attaching the sphere on top of it. But again, you can kind of vary that depending on how much definition you want to keep on the circle part that's on top, because of course the more that you melt it, the more it's kind of gonna disappear, which will make more sense in a little bit once we actually do that step. So I will show you guys when we get there. Now, for the actual application of the topper, I'm gonna kind of walk you guys through all this cools, a few different ways that you can do it. So, of course, when I did it on top of the cupcake, because I did try and make it the perfect size to fit onto that cupcake, what I did first is I just iced my cupcake in a little bit of blue icing, and I did actually use my Color Splash colors. So I have my Ocean Blue, my Simi Color Splash Ocean Blue. I mix that into my buttercream. These are really, really good for mixing into buttercream and royal icing. They are water-based, so they're going to bond really nicely, and they're so pigmented because, of course, Color Splash colors are a lot more pigmented than normal airbrush colors, so they're a water-based color that can also be mixed in. I also use it to mix into my fondant, so all of the individual pieces, except for the black, that one I had already colored, but the orange and the brown, you can mix color into them with the Color Splash because they are very, very intense. So I actually do only need a drop or two, and that way the water does not affect the texture of your modeling paste or the texture of your buttercream or royal icing. So I mixed in some Ocean Blue, and I only did a little bit because I did want that bright blue rather than a deep navy blue like that one can get if you use too much. And then I just piped a circle on top, and I did the little trick where you flip the icing onto a piece of acetate plastic. You can get food safe acetate just in strips, but one tip that I have is I actually save the backings from my edible images from my icing sheets. I save those in a bag, and then whenever I need a piece of acetate, I can just pull one of those out and use it. And you can usually use those a couple times depending on what project you're doing with them and if you need to cut them up and everything. Just kind of one more step to eliminate waste and to recycle, which is always good. So I just flipped the buttercream onto the acetate and put it in the freezer, and once it was frozen, I was able to peel away the acetate and leave a flat surface behind. I didn't want, a domed top on this since I wanted the snowman to look really flush, like he was melting down, but I wanted a little sparkle, so I did just roll it in some pearlized sanding sugar around the outside edge before I put the topper on. Okay, so you could definitely do that if you would like to. Now what I'm actually going to do, because that is pretty simple as far as we're just setting the topper onto the cupcake, what I'm actually going to do this time is I'm going to show you guys how to turn it into a lollipop. So if you wanted to turn these into a little lollipop, I think that would be really cute as well. So we are going to use a lollipop stick for this one instead. You could also, though, attach these directly onto your cake. You can have it kind of melting over the side of the cake if you wanted to. You could do this bigger, of course. Using one of our larger sphere molds would be really cute. So you could definitely alter this into different designs, and I'll talk a little bit more about that once we start making the drip and everything, but it does get really, really cute. But for this one, I thought I would turn it into a lollipop just to show you guys a couple different ways that you can do this project. Alright, so just make sure there's no questions. Hi, welcome to everybody who just jumped on. We are making our cute Isomalt melted snowman cupcake topper and lollipop in this demo. Please feel free to share. It is much appreciated to share it with any of your sugar groups and friends. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Marissa. Hey, Karen. Hi, Teresa. Welcome, and thanks for being here, guys. All right. So we have just poured our hollow eyeball mold. So instead of filling it solid, I did fill and drain it with some white Isomalt. It feels like it's just about cool because I had that fan right on it, so it definitely helped to speed it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and unmold that. And I'm just going to be really careful as I do this. But it does come right out, and look how cool that is. It's just like a little globe, and because it's opaque Isomalt that we're using, there is a couple little bubbles on the outside just because silicone can collect bubbles, but you really don't even notice it because of the opacity, so I don't need to worry about torching those away like we do with the eyeballs. I'm going to leave it just as it is, but the back is a little bit rough. Now we're going to kind of put this into the melted Isomalt, so that would probably melt away, but just to give ourselves kind of a clean slate to start with, I'm just going to lightly torch on that edge, just so it's not jagged.
I can't believe how easy that came out.
Yeah, it really just pops right out. It's super, super easy, even when it's hollow. Okay.
Wow.
Almost looks like a little cauldron. So I know Halloween's over, but if you needed to do like a cute little cauldron or little lights or something, a little lamp would be cute.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they look like the lamps in San Diego, in the lamp district.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that would be so pretty, especially for like a gingerbread house.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, or very much like those vintage light bulbs. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we are just going to put that off to the side for now, and I'm going to start to reheat the Isomalt that I was using for our next step, okay? So the Isomalt just got a little bit thick. Excuse my messy bowl here. I've been using white Isomalt a lot lately for all of our wintry projects. So I just had some in my bowl here already. But it got a little too thick, so we're just going to go ahead and put that into the microwave. Okay, I have that one there. Okay, you guys doing okay? Any questions so far? Let me know. Okay, I'm also going to get the little lollipop stick ready. So the lollipop stick that I'm using is actually an acrylic lollipop stick. You can use a regular lollipop stick too, just a white paper one, but I really love these acrylic lollipop sticks because it just makes it, kind of brings it to another level. Especially if you are doing transparent lollipops with the clear colors of Isomalt, it just really adds like an elevated look to it. I do have these linked on my Amazon storefront, and because I keep getting questions about that, I did put a whole section on the shop page of our website, so not the actual store, but the shop page on simicakes.com. There's a whole segment now that you can click to get to my Amazon affiliate storefront. So that is where I have all of like my lollipop favorites and a lot of the tools and things that I use that we don't make. I have those linked there. So these are in there, and I really love those with Isomalt. Alright, so we'll grab the Isomalt back out. Now I like to let the Isomalt get just a tiny bit thicker than being boiling hot because it's going to kind of determine how the puddle is going to move. So when it's really, really hot, it's going to be extremely sort of liquefied and very soft and easy to move around. When it's a little bit cooler and thicker, it's going to hold its shape better. So it'll give you different looks just depending on how you're doing it. You know, it just kind of gives you some different effects. So I prefer to leave it a little bit thicker because that way it stays more blobby, if you will. Very technical term there. But it definitely just stays a little bit more rounded and looks a little bit more like a puddle, whereas when it's really hot, it can get kind of like harsher lines and shapes and things like that. So I'm just kind of letting this cool off for a minute or two before I'm going to pour it. Alright, so I have my little half sphere here. It's more like a 3/4 sphere here, and you could fill this with something if you wanted to, so you could absolutely put like little sprinkles in here that they could then break over the cupcake if you wanted to, or you could put a light inside. Of course, make sure if you do that with a cupcake or a lollipop that they know to take that out. Generally with things like cupcakes, I don't do inedible kind of pieces to this because they're just going to bite into it, or this is more like a sucker. So you could definitely even make this a little bit smaller if you wanted to. All right. So just letting that kind of set up, and we're going to actually set this little snowman head into the puddle so that it starts to kind of melt down the bottom edge as it goes. So I think I'm just going to pour it right down here. And that way it's sort of off to the side, and then while that cools, we're going to make all of the little decorations for the hat and the nose and everything like that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and pour just a little puddle, and you can kind of size this to your cupcake, or you can, you know, kind of have it next to it or keep the little head near it so that you don't get out of proportion. And we're just going to pour a little bit at a time. We can always add more. And I'm going to kind of pour into a wacky shape, and then I can also just push it out with my tool just slightly, because I don't want it to look too perfect as far as circular. I want it to kind of be a little bit variegated at the edge, I guess you would call it. So you can see it kind of has this sort of a wacky scalloped shape. And the nice part about making a blob is that it really just has to be a blob. It doesn't need to look any certain way. It's actually very easy to overthink that. So just kind of go with it, and if you need to redo it, you can always throw it back in the bowl when it's cool and melt it down again. If you get any little bubbles on the surface, you can lightly torch those away. All right, perfect.
Oh, Karen says organic.
Yes, exactly. Very organic. All right, awesome. Also, one thing while I am using the torch that I wanted to let you guys know, we are finally going to have torches back in stock next week on our website. We are getting our shipment that we've been waiting for, so if you guys have been wanting a blowtorch, they are going to be back in stock next week. We are very excited about that because we haven't had them in a little bit from supply chain issues, but they will be back. So if you've had your eye on one, this is definitely by far my all-time favorite torch. Okay, so now I'm just going to set the little snowman head right into the puddle of Isomalt. Now, if you put it in right away, it might melt more of this. So you see that I kind of waited a minute as I was talking, just so that I want it to join together, but I don't want to accidentally melt too much of this down because you're kind of pressing this into a flat surface. So I'm just going to kind of position it where I want, maybe about there, and then just press it down into the puddle. So all I did was set it and just press it in there. Okay, and then we're just going to let that cool. Now I'm going to let that cool there, and then over here we're going to make our little decorations for it. Okay, so super easy, super simple. This is something that you could definitely do a few of at a time, or multiple at a time if you wanted to. I also really like doing kind of like a coordinating set. So when you're doing toppers like this that are a little bit more intricate and taking a little bit more time, it's kind of like a cookie set. They don't all have to look the same, right? Of those cupcakes, they don't all have to be identical. So maybe in the dozen you do 4 of these, or 3 of these, and then the others you do kind of coordinating, so they can still have the blue icing, they can have the crystals on it, but maybe you just do like a tiny little puddle of like a melted snowman with a face on it without the head, or maybe you do a little snowflake in the center of it. You have different options so that each one doesn't have to necessarily be this intricate, since of course this is taking a little more time than you would normally take for a cupcake, for just a simple cupcake. But Isomalt is one of those things that is very showy. It's very, very eye-catching, and clients love it. So you can definitely charge accordingly if they want something like this. Okay, so I'm just going to make the little arms while we're waiting. So I'm just taking a little bit of brown fondant, and I'm going to use my scissors. I forgot my tiny little cosmetic scissors that I usually use at the other studio. We're at my home studio right now, but that's okay. We're going to just roll with it with some regular size scissors, but little ones can definitely help. So I'm just making 2 kind of tubes here, and I cut them at an angle on the end like a flower stem so they come to a point, and then I'm just going to sink in. You could probably also use just an X-Acto for this, but I'm just going to kind of sink in the scissors to create those little sticks and twigs coming off of the arms.
Those are giant scissors.
They are.
Making those little cuts.
But not too bad, if I say so myself.
Hey, I think those are dollar store scissors.
Yeah, they are.
That's pretty good.
Alright, there we go. So just 2 little arms. I don't like to make them too long because I don't want them to go super far off the cupcake without any support in them, because again, I don't really want to add in edible supports to a bite-sized treat like this. So I'm not going to add too much.
Karen asks, do you add $4 to $6 to the base cupcake price?
I don't sell cupcakes anymore, and it really depends on where you are and what your price range is, so it's hard for me to say an exact, but I definitely would add more than what you would normally charge, because, I mean, you'll have to pay for the Isomalt as well, your time in making each one of these, so I would definitely say, to add whatever you feel
cover
comfortable.
Your costs.
Yeah, cover your
time.
costs, for sure. Right, so then just taking a little bit of the black here. This actually might be purple. Can't tell. Is that a really dark purple? It might be. That's okay. We can have purple hat and purple coal, right? Sometimes I get all the colors wrapped up and then I don't realize what they are when I take them out. So I'm just going to make a little,
I like purple.
2 little eyes. Yeah, why not? 2 little eyes and then a little mouth as well. You could do like the traditional coal smiley face if you want, but I wanted him to look a little bit concerned about melting, so I just did like 1 circle, kind kind of like he looks surprised. So I'm just taking little dots and then flattening them with my fingers to make little pancakes. And then I'll do a couple of just tiny ones for the coal buttons, going down the front. Just a few. Okay, I'm gonna try and make them not quite perfect because it is supposed to look very whimsical and, you know, like a kid put it together, and it's just fun and very festive.
That's exactly what all of my stuff looks like a kid put it together.
Oh gosh. I like projects like this because they definitely give you more permission to have fun with it and not as much stress about making it perfect. Okay, so I'll just roll this into a ball. So I'm going to make the little hat. So I'm going to kind of start with like a bean shape or like a little tube, like a cylinder. And then I'm just going to flatten that out just slightly and kind of square it. I don't want it a perfect square or else I would use a cutter. I just want it a little bit more squared. And then I'll use a little bit more to create the brim just by creating another tube. Okay. It's gonna go down across the bottom, and I just kind of press them together here.
Oh, that's so cute.
Just super cute, simple little kind of like bowler hat. You can get creative with it. You could do like a cowboy hat. You can do a top hat. You can do an astronaut helmet. You can do whatever you want to for your snowmen.
Bowler hat guy.
Yep, bowler hat guy. Some of our favorite Disney movies. Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah, Meet the Robinsons.
Such a good movie. And I am using the Smart Flex fondant from the Sweet Chalet shop. It is my absolute favorite fondant. It is so strong and stable, and it is just beautiful to work with. So that is what I'm using. And again, I just colored it with my Color Splash colors. I'm creating like a little carrot shape of a little elongated teardrop here. I think that might be a little bit too big. So let's make that slightly smaller. Alright.
So cute.
And I just make sure with the carrot that the tip of the carrot is very sharp, so I really press down on that end to get it a nice sharp point, because that is definitely a characteristic of carrots, those large carrots. I'm going to grab my little tool here and just put some indents on it as well. I can kind of roll it a little bit as I put those on to get them around, but carrots have those sort of lines in them if you want to add a little extra detail.
Becky says the fondant's very tasty as well.
It really is, yeah.
And thank you, Marissa, for the fondant, the Sweet Chalet.
Yes, thank you. My favorite. All right. Okay. Just like that. Now, let's test if our little snowman has cooled off here. Does feel like it, so I always use a clean silicone tool to make sure first, and then I'm just going to peel that up and away, and look how easy that just popped right off. Again, this is something, it looks very intricate, but like a lot of things with Isomalt, it really doesn't take that much time, and you can get some really, really cute decorations. It kind of looks like, if you did the center yellow, it kind of looks like an egg.
I was just thinking that. You could just do a little.
Yeah, you could do little eggs for like, wouldn't it be cute for like breakfast themed cupcakes?
Gosh,
You could do like little bacon and eggs and things. Another thing you can do really easily with this design, Mom and I were just talking about earlier, is ice cubes. So if you wanted to have like a little melted ice cube either dripping down like on the cake or maybe on the board, you can take an ice cube mold, either you could turn this into kind of a cube shape if you want to while it's warm. If you unmold that circle a little early, you can turn it into like a rounded or even just like a misshapen shape, because ice cubes aren't always perfectly squared, especially as they melt. So you can do like a misshapen kind of shape, or you can use a silicone ice cube mold. We have our designer ice cube mold on our website too, and just filled out with Isomalt. You can make it solid or hollow depending on how you want it to look, and then you could just press it into a puddle, and that just gives you kind of like that melted ice cube effect.
Evelyn says make good ghosts.
Oh, that would be so cute to make a little ghost like that. I love that idea.
And Stacy said the fondant's the best.
It really is. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and add those. Oh, and I forgot, I want to give him eyebrows. I think that eyebrows just make the personality of a lot of pieces, so you'll notice that I add them on a lot of my faces. Even though I don't always do eyes on my creatures because eyes just don't always look right to me. I just like the look of kind of having eyebrows if you are going to have eyes.
With the glass look, you mean?
Yeah, with the glass look, I just feel like it kind of gives it more of like a blown glass look if it doesn't have as much detail, and eyes always look very cartoony to me, so I just like to do more impressionistic style if I'm doing more like blown Isomalt pieces. But this guy we do want cartoony, so we're going to add some cute little eyeballs. Alright, so let's start out with the little eyes. Now, Isomalt likes to stick to Isomalt really easily, so a lot of times you don't need any glue, but it does depend on the day. Here, it is really dry because it's so cold at 60 degrees outside, so it's very dry outside compared to our normal climate. So I'm going to take...
It might only be 50% humidity.
It might, that's just crazy. Considering it's upwards of 80 or 90 here every day for the most part.
Don't worry, it will be in 2 days.
Yeah. I think this is the coldest day we're going to have until after Christmas, according to the radar. Alright.
I think it did dip down to 59.
Crazy.
I still have no socks. Flip-flops.
I had my heated blanket on last night, and it wasn't even that cold last night. So, little eyeball. I might have made these eyeballs a little bit bigger than they needed to be, but you know what? It's gonna be whimsical.
So cute.
I'm gonna add the little mouth.
I see the ghost right now.
Yeah, right? Okay. Little carrot nose.
That's just piping gel?
Yep, just some clear piping gel. And you might want to let the little carrot nose dry before you put it on, depending on the type of fondant that you're using, or you can use modeling chocolate if you prefer. And now I kind of want the eyebrows to look surprised, so I'm going to do one a little bit lower, and then one sort of curved a little bit higher. And then the little arms.
Oh my gosh. You'll have to turn him around. So
oh yeah, sorry about that.
Face up.
Little arms kind of floating away here.
Yeah, there you go. Aww.
And the little hat I'm just going to put next to him. Like that's kind of melted away. And then for the dots, I'm just going to kind of put them haphazardly like they are melting and floating away from each other. So I'll put the first one kind of off to one side, and then the next one in the middle.
Aww.
So there's still kind of a trail of where they're going. It's just too funny, isn't it?
It is, I love it.
Alright. And there we go. So there's our little topper. That would be perfect to go ahead and set down onto your cupcake if you would like to. See his little mouth there, so funny. You can add a little like white highlight to his eye if you wanted, just to add a little bit more personality, but I wanted to stick with that kind of coal look. Now if you want to add it to a lollipop, so instead of just setting it on your cupcake, I'm going to show you how to do that. You could potentially, when that puddle was poured, just take your lollipop stick and set it into the puddle, but I didn't want to actually see the indent or the outdent of the stick sitting there getting in the way of the decoration, so I'm going to put it on the back instead. So I'm just melting some Isomalt to attach it on to use as a glue. Now I do spray all of my finished pieces with the clear edible glaze spray, and that is just going to make sure that it is keeping it sealed so it's not going to get sticky or cloudy. And it's going to stay nice and shiny. So since this is going to be out, and especially because it is going to be touching buttercream, you do want to just be mindful of that because the moisture from the buttercream is going to affect it. So make sure you spray it front and back. Although, I mean, I've had this one on here. I did spray it, but I mean, I had it on here for, I've actually had this cupcake for like 3 weeks. This is the original one in the picture. Yeah, it hasn't melted, the color hasn't bled or anything like that, and it's on buttercream.
But no fridge.
Yeah, just if you're going to refrigerate your cupcakes, it has to go on after the cupcakes come out of the fridge. Because the fridge just has way too much moisture for the Isomalt.
Could you go up, like, through it? So it'd be sitting...
On the lollipop?
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely could. So, like, sitting like this. on top like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could definitely attach it onto there if you wanted to. You'd probably have to do it before the little details of the
go
face.
Through it.
Yeah, are on it, just so you can flip this over.
And get it right in there.
Yeah, get it right onto it like that. I'm going to kind of set it maybe off to the side.
I think I like that better, the way you're doing it.
Yeah, there's just different options. And I'm not going to put it like straight down. I want it to look a little haphazard. Like it's kind of melting off to the side. And I'm using the mat, since it's silicone, to press it down a little to help flatten that into the kind of Isomalt puddle underneath.
So cute.
And then as that cools, definitely needs to cool another minute or two, but you can see it's just stuck right on there. And you have cotton candy strings here. And you have your cute little lollipop. So really cute set to have together. You know, if you're doing a dessert table, maybe you want to have an array of different items on that table. So not just lollipops, not just cupcakes, that you can have some different ones. You could do different colors, like I said. You could do even some clear and some white, or you could do pearl, would be really pretty. We have our clear glitter that would be really, really pretty. So you have different options as far as, you know, what designs and things that you want to go for with these. And again, if you do want to flavor these, you can absolutely do that with some oil-based or powdered-based flavoring mixed in before you pour it into the molds. And that's just going to give you that really, really beautiful taste to coordinate. So if you wanted to coordinate it with your buttercream flavor or your cupcake flavor, that's a really good way to do it. These are more like suckers, so they're totally edible, which is why the flavoring is nice, but they are more like a sucker, or you can, of course, use this as a keepsake. This can even go into a cake, so if you wanted to stick these, you know, down into a cake, that would be super cute. You can have some full snowmen next to it. We have all our sphere molds in different sizes, so you could stack them. Or I have a online workshop from a couple years ago where we did a blown Isomalt snowman. So lots of different design ideas that you can mix and match.
So everybody loves it.
Oh, thank you.
And Laura asks, where on your website is the link to the popsicle sticks?
If you go to the shop page on simicakes.com, so not the online store where you add things to the cart, but the actual shop tab on our website, it is, if you scroll down just a little bit, there's a big banner that says my Amazon storefront. I think it's in my Lollipop Essentials category, so as soon as you click on that, it'll show you all the categories that I kind of sorted all my stuff into. Right.
Yeah, Stacy says, great cake pics.
Yeah, exactly. Really cute cake pics. And even if you did short ones and then had them in your cupcakes like this, up and down, could be really cute too. You know, you could do them vertical instead of flat on top of the cupcake if you wanted a little bit more height. Okay. So I'm going to readjust my camera here.
I'm so blown away that you could pop out a hollow eye.
I know, it's so crazy, right? All right. And to let you guys back up. Hello again. All right, and I'll show you my little lollipop here. Hopefully it's cool enough. Super cute. I just love the little eyebrows. I find that, especially with the hat, it just looks really, really cute. And again, I just used a little bit of piping gel on that to help, but just super cute lollipop idea. You could even decorate the back of it too if you wanted to do, you know, extra little like pieces floating away, maybe another carrot or some little pieces of coal, you know, just to add a little bit to it if you're going to do lollipops. Super duper cute. So you have two different ways to use that design, setting it on a cupcake and using a lollipop as well. All right, I'm so glad you guys like it. Just reading through the comments. Fantastic. Yeah, this replay will be available afterwards, and if you are watching later, you're welcome, or anybody watching now, you're always welcome to send me questions on my Facebook page here. I am happy to answer, or on Instagram or email, whatever you prefer. Fantastic, fantastic. All right, and I will upload this to my YouTube. Mom's putting all my links into to remind me too. I do have my YouTube playlist of all the past live streams that I did. So if you're ever looking for one, it's a little easier than going through all the Facebook posts. There's a playlist on there too. Now, we do one of these playdates usually about once a month, so I do have my next one ready to show you guys. I did not get to finish putting the kit together because we do that discounted 20% off kit with all the Isomalt colors and everything bundled for this project. I'm going to have it up tomorrow. That's my tomorrow project because I ran out of time today before I had to come set up for this, but I am going to have it up tomorrow, but I wanted to show you guys the piece because I'm very excited about it. So I brought it here with me. So we are gonna do a beautiful winter wreath. I know Christmas will be over in January, or after Christmas in January. We're not going for quite as much of a Christmas theme, but it's still winter, right? At least in some parts of the world. So we're gonna do a beautiful, still slightly Florida themed with the dried oranges. We're gonna do a beautiful wreath. So this would be a stunning plaque on the side of your cake, a cupcake topper. We're gonna use the new cat's eye color, so our new black gold. That's what I used for this. That is just so pretty for the wreath. So I'll show you guys how to hand pull the wreath, and you can customize it with any molds that you want. I used our orange slices and our little pine cone. And then we are not going to be doing the bows in that. I just added this on because I'm going to be doing something else with bows that I'll be able to tell you about very soon. If you were hoping for some tutorials and things on bows, that will be coming soon, so definitely keep your eyes peeled. I will be able to post more about that very soon, but that is going to be our next playdate. So just like this, it'll be totally free to watch, but we will have the playdate discounted kit if you are interested in playing along with me. And then any of the projects that you made from tonight, definitely make sure to tag me in pictures and post them in the Simi Torch team, because I love seeing you guys' interpretations of these projects and your work. So if you recreate any of the techniques from tonight's live, definitely please tag me and please post them in the Torch team. If you're not a member of the Simi Torch team, it is our awesome Facebook group for all things Isomalt. All skill levels, you can post pictures, ask questions, get inspiration. It's super fun. We do giveaways and discounts and a whole bunch of fun things.
We haven't had game night in a long time. We have to.
Yeah, I think we really do. We were talking about that we haven't had time to do a live game night in a while. So I think in the new year that is definitely on the agenda. We'll do maybe some bingo or some scavenger hunts. So we will definitely be doing that. I also wanted to let you guys know that tomorrow, Wednesday is the last day.
No, tomorrow. I'm sorry, I didn't know which one you were doing.
Wait, what's today? Today's the 11th?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, so tomorrow is the 12th, which means it's the last day of our 12 days of Simi extravaganza that we are having. So that means that you have to order by tomorrow if you would like to take advantage of our deals. So let's see, we have 20% off all edible sheets, so pre-printed edible icing, cello, and transfer sheets. We have, let's see, our double points, which is very exciting. We have never done a double points event before, so make sure that you get into that. You'll get double points if you order by tomorrow, or up until tomorrow. And then we also have, there's one more, the free gift. Orders over, I think, $35 or more get a free sample 3-ounce bag of the new cat's eye color that I just showed you, the black gold. And orders over $50 are going to get a free full-size bag of any color that you would like.
And they're stacked.
They are stacked. Both. Yeah, you'll get both if you get over $50. So definitely take advantage of that if you've been looking at anything. Also, for the rest of the month, we are extending our Simi Torch Team member discount. So if you're a member of the Torch Team, you will get your discount code for our Isomalt bottles, cans, and glass molds category. So every bottle mold that we have, and glasses and cans, all of that is on sale, 20% off, which is a huge discount, especially if you are looking at getting one of the big bottle molds, which definitely are a little bit more of an investment. So if you've had your eye on one of those, definitely snag it, because that is definitely a offer that we do not do.
And double points, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and double points on top of that. So if you wanted to get like one of the big wine bottles or something like that, definitely get it now, because that is for sure the best deal of the year on bottles. All right.
Sandra wonders what's the date of the wreath, but we don't have it
I don't have a date yet.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow, because of the retreat next month, next January, which I'm so excited for, is almost here. We don't know exactly which day we want to do yet, so I will be announcing that tomorrow when I announce
It will not be during the retreat.
No, it won't be during the retreat, for sure. It will be before or after, probably before, but I will definitely let you guys know that tomorrow when I have the kit and everything ready and put together.
When is the Fire Skill Social?
Oh yeah, the Skill Social. Our next one is going to be Isomalt Fire. So it's a 1-hour guided practice. I don't know, my phone's on here. Is it I believe it's the 8th.
Monday the 8th.
Monday night the 8th. We do it on Zoom. It's $5, and I also have the replay available for $5, or you can bundle them together for $8. And it'll be, this month's topic is all about Isomalt Fire, so I'm going to show you a whole bunch of different ways to make Isomalt flames. We're all going to work together. We're going to brainstorm ideas. It's basically just a super fun guided practice hour on Zoom, and we always have a really good time. And yeah, so we'll be doing
we have 4 seats left.
Oh yeah, 4 seats left for the retreat. That registration is closing in, I think, 4 days on the 15th.
Yeah.
So if you want to get an all-access ticket, make sure that you do within the next few days because registration is closing. We only have 4 spots left of our all-access, but we do have some extras of the dinner and demo night available. Those will not be taken off. Just the all-access are going to be closed on the 15th. So
we have a nice big room for that.
Yeah, we
especially
definitely do.
if you're local.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun to come over for the evening.
Yeah, it is super fun if you're anywhere in the Florida or drivable to the Space Coast area, Cocoa Beach, Florida. Super fun, nice and sunny and warm, hopefully, for our out-of-town friends. And yeah, it's just going to be super duper fun.
And Donald will be there.
Yep, Donald will be there. We have Donald coming with his amazing cookie class. We have Dawn Butler coming all the way from the UK with her awesome cake that she's doing. And then I will be doing an Isomalt class as well as game night, tons of demos and activities.
Debbie Coughlin.
Yeah, Debbie Coughlin and Icing Images will be there hosting game night again. So just super fun time. We always have the best time.
But Wednesday.
What's Wednesday?
Tammy.
Oh yeah, Tammy, thank you. I was like, wait.
Not yours. I'm sorry.
I have a live on Wednesday? Yes, Tammy is doing a live. So our next Torch team member demonstration is going to be Tammy Varela. She is going live on Wednesday, and I will post a picture of what she is doing after this because it is so awesome. So keep your eyes peeled for that, but she's going live in the evening. I believe it's at 7 p.m., but I'll double check that. It'll be on the banner as well. But she's doing something super cool, so make sure you come back here, tune in for the next live stream, which will be Tammy Varela on Wednesday.
And Becky said the penguins class is so cute. I saw her penguins.
Yeah, oh my gosh, they came out so cute. Yeah, the penguin class just came out on Sunday, the blown penguins, and they're just so much fun.
Anybody who wants to take it, it's available now.
Yeah, it's available.
It's not pre-sale anymore, even if it says it.
Yeah, I may not have changed that. All right, yeah, I can't wait to see you too, Sandra. All right, just a few more weeks now. It doesn't even feel real.
Oh my gosh, so many fun things.
Yeah.
Guess what? The alligator is confirmed.
Yes, it is confirmed. We got the confirmation, and alligator will be there.
Safari Todd will not disappoint.
And we're also going to have a really fun project that's new this year as well. I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but it's kind of art meets musical chairs in a way. So we are getting all of the details together for that.
We hope you don't need helmets.
Yeah, right. We always seem to need helmets for everything we do with the Torch team. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Also, let me know, because we kind of did a little bit different tonight of having an evening demo rather than an afternoon Saturday demo. Let me know if you prefer one or the other, because I wasn't sure if people are going to be busy leading up to Christmas on the weekends, so that's why we decided to do an evening. But let me know what you guys prefer if you have a preference. And yeah, I am really grateful that you spent your the last hour with me this evening, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful holiday season. And we can't wait to see some of you guys in January at the retreat.
So happy Hanukkah, happy Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, everybody.
Amazing 2024.
Yeah, happy New Year almost. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe that. Bye guys, thank you.